Thursday, 2:17 a.m. I'm hunched over my laptop in our kitchen, the blue glow painting my face like some digital ghost. The house is quiet, except for the hum of our overpriced refrigerator and the occasional creak of settling wood. Jenna's been asleep for hours. Or so I thought. My name's Connor Ames, and I'm what you might call professionally paranoid. Cybersecurity auditor for Meridian Tech Solutions. I spend my days finding holes in other people's digital lives, exposing the vulnerabilities they never knew existed. Ironic, considering I'm about to discover the biggest security breach of my life happened right under my own roof. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. It started 3 weeks ago with little things. Jenna giggling at her phone during dinner. New lingerie appearing in the laundry, stuff I'd never seen her wear for me. Late nights at the boutique that seemed to stretch longer and longer. When your wife of 8 years suddenly starts password protecting everything and taking calls in the bathroom, well, even a trusting husband starts to wonder. But I'm not just any husband. I'm a husband who knows that deleted doesn't mean gone, that private browsing leaves traces, and that cloud syncing is the gift that keeps on giving to suspicious spouses everywhere. Cybersecurity tip number 1. I mutter to myself, fingers dancing across the keyboard. Never marry someone who thinks clearing browser history actually clears browser history. The router logs are a goldmine. Jenna's been busy, very busy. Dating apps, encrypted messaging services, and enough Google searches about how to hide an affair to make me laugh if it weren't so pathetic. But the real treasure is her automatic photo backup. She changed her phone password, sure, but forgot about the cloud sync we set up 2 years ago for convenience. 20 minutes of digging, and I hit the mother lode. A folder labeled Just Coffee. How cute. Dozens of photos that definitely weren't taken at Starbucks. Intimate selfies, restaurant pics with carefully cropped companions, and then the smoking gun. A wine glass reflection showing a face I recognize. Markham Dole. Married supplier for Jenna's boutique chain. Arrogant prick who drives a Tesla and wears cologne that costs more than my monthly car payment. I've met him at company parties, the type who talks too loud, stands too close, and treats service staff like furniture. My phone buzzes. A text from Jenna. Working late again, honey. Don't wait up. Love you. The timestamp shows 2:19 a.m. Either she's developed superhuman texting abilities while unconscious, or she's not where she claims to be. I check her location sharing, disabled as of last week. How considerate. I screenshot everything, every photo, every message thread I can access, every breadcrumb of digital evidence. Then I do what any reasonable cybersecurity professional would do. I prepare for war. First, I change all our shared account passwords. Banking, utilities, streaming services, credit cards, everything. Then I forward a carefully curated selection of photos to 2 very specific email addresses. Danny Dole, Markham's wife, whose contact info was helpfully stored in Jenna's phone, and Simone Rodriguez, Jenna's regional manager, a no-nonsense woman who takes professional conduct very seriously. The subject line reads, "Thought you should see these. Timestamp verification available upon request." I hit send on both emails at exactly 2:30 a.m., then lean back in my chair. The kitchen suddenly feels different, not like home anymore, but like a crime scene where I'm both detective and victim. My phone buzzes again. Another text from Jenna. Oops, meant to send that earlier. Phone stopped working. Charging at the store. See you in the morning. Sure you will, I say to the empty room. I spend the next hour boxing up Jenna's things. Not everything, I'm not a monster. Just enough to make a point. Clothes, toiletries, that expensive face cream she orders from France. I arrange everything neatly on the kitchen counter, then place our joint credit card on top, cut into 4 precise pieces. Her car keys go beside it, along with a manila envelope containing divorce papers I'd prepared weeks ago but hoped I'd never need. The sun's starting to rise when I hear her car in the driveway. Showtime. Jenna walks in looking like she's been through a blender. Hair messed up, makeup smeared, clothes wrinkled. She stops when she sees the boxes. Connor, what's all this? I hold up my laptop, screen facing her. The photo gallery is open, showing her greatest hits. Her face goes white. Just coffee, huh? I say, voice calm as glass. Funny how coffee dates require lingerie these days. She opens her mouth, closes it, opens it again like a fish gasping for air. Connor, I can explain. No need. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. These are worth about 8 years of marriage. Her phone starts buzzing. Then buzzing again and again. The emails have been delivered. Oh God, she whispers, looking at her phone. Connor, what did you do? Me? I just shared some photos with people who might find them interesting. Your boss, for instance. And Mrs. Dole, you remember Danny, right? Markham's wife? Lovely woman. I'm sure she'll appreciate seeing how her husband spends his business lunches. Jenna's phone is going insane now. Calls, texts, emails flooding in. She stares at it like it's a live grenade. You've destroyed everything, she whispers. I stand up, straightening my shirt. No, Jenna, you destroyed everything. I just documented it. The next 48 hours are like watching a controlled demolition in slow motion. I've seen corporate security breaches before. The panic, the scrambling, the desperate damage control. But this is personal, and it's beautiful. Jenna's been staying at her sister's place, which means I get to enjoy my coffee in peace while monitoring the fallout. My phone's been quiet. I'm the victim here, after all. But social media tells a different story. The boutique district is a small world, and gossip travels faster than fiber optic internet. By Friday morning, everyone knows. The store's group chat, which I gained access to months ago when I helped them set up their POS system, always keep admin access, folks, is absolutely on fire. Did you see the photos Simone got? OMG Jenna was sleeping with a supplier. His wife came to the store this morning and screamed at her. I heard she got suspended. More than suspended. I think she's done. Professional misconduct is one thing, but screwing a married supplier while representing the company? That's career suicide in retail management. Simone doesn't mess around when it comes to the brand's reputation. I'm savoring my second cup of coffee when my phone rings. Unknown number. Is this Connor Ames? The voice is female, sharp, with barely controlled fury. Speaking. This is Danny Dole. I think we need to talk. Interesting. About what, Mrs. Dole? About what we're going to do to the people who thought they could make fools of us. I like her already. We meet at Grinders, a coffee shop downtown that's seen better decades. Danny Dole is not what I expected. Mid-40s, silver-streaked hair pulled back severely, wearing a business suit that cost more than my car. But her eyes are pure ice-cold rage. I've been married to that bastard for 15 years, she says without preamble, sliding into the booth across from me. 15 years of his business trips and late meetings and networking events. I knew he was cheating. I just never had proof. And now you do. Thanks to you. She opens her purse and pulls out a thick folder. I've been busy since your email. Bank records, credit card statements, hotel receipts. Your wife wasn't his first, Connor. She wasn't even his second. The folder contains a timeline that would make a forensic accountant weep with joy. Markham's been running a one-man adultery operation for years, using company funds to wine and dine his conquests. Expensive restaurants, luxury hotels, jewelry purchases, all documented with receipts and timestamps. Jesus, I whistle. Your husband's not just a cheater, he's an embezzler. Former husband, Danny corrects. I filed this morning. My lawyer says I'll get everything, the house, the business, his precious Tesla, but that's not enough. What did you have in mind? She leans forward, and I see where her son gets his intensity. I want them humiliated. Publicly. Completely. I want everyone in this town to know exactly what kind of people they are. I consider this. Revenge is a dish best served cold, but public humiliation? That's a delicacy best served at room temperature with a nice wine pairing. I might have some ideas, I tell her. That afternoon, I pay a visit to Markham's neighborhood. Westfield Estates, all McMansions and manicured lawns where the grass is always greener because it's professionally maintained. His house is a monument to midlife crisis architecture. Too big, too flashy, too desperate to impress. The Tesla's in the driveway, gleaming like a silver middle finger to environmental consciousness and good taste. I park down the street and walk up casually, like I belong. Suburban camouflage is easy when you're a middle-aged white guy in khakis. Security cameras are everywhere, but that's not a problem when you know how to loop footage. A little device I borrowed from work makes quick work of their wireless system. To anyone watching the monitors, I'm invisible. I don't key the car, that's amateur hour. Instead, I remove the valve stems from all 4 tires. Slow deflation, maximum inconvenience. Then I pour a bottle of corn syrup into the gas tank. Not enough to destroy the engine, but enough to make it run like garbage for weeks. For the finale, I leave a package by the front door, a gift box containing some of Jenna's more intimate lingerie, along with a note written in block letters, "Lost property. Hope you enjoyed the ride." The security system will show the package appearing magically with no delivery person in sight. Let Markham explain that to his wife. Oh wait, she already knows everything. My phone buzzes as I'm walking back to my car. Text from Jenna. We need to talk. This has gone too far. I text back, has it? I'm just getting started. By evening, the local Facebook groups are buzzing. Someone posted a photo of Markham's deflated Tesla with the mysterious package captioned "Trouble in Paradise." The comments are brutal and hilarious. Karma's a snake with 4 flat tires. Maybe he should have stuck to his wife instead of his side pieces. I heard his company fired him today. Good. Creep deserved it. I pour myself a bourbon and settle in to watch the show. Tomorrow, I think I'll pay a visit to that Roadhouse bar where all the boutique employees hang out after work. Time to see how Jenna's handling her newfound notoriety. Murphy's Roadhouse sits on the edge of town like a relic from better times, when this place actually had industry worth drinking about. Now it's where retail workers and middle management come to complain about their lives over overpriced beer and soggy wings. Perfect venue for what I have planned. I arrive around 7 on Friday night, knowing the boutique crowd will be there drowning their sorrows and trading gossip. Sure enough, I spot familiar faces from various store events and holiday parties. But the real prize is in the back corner booth. Jenna, Markham, and Clara Santos, Jenna's best friend and fellow assistant manager. They look like survivors of a particularly nasty shipwreck. Jenna's lost weight, her usually perfect hair hanging limp around her shoulders. Markham's sporting a 5-day beard and clothes that scream, "My wife took everything." Clara's trying to play mediator, but even from across the room, I can see the tension crackling between them. I order a beer and find a table with a good view of their booth. The acoustics in this place are terrible, which means conversations carry farther than people think. I don't even need to eavesdrop. They're practically broadcasting their dysfunction. "This is insane," Markham's saying, voice slurred with alcohol and desperation. "He can't just destroy our lives like this." "He didn't destroy anything," Clara snaps. "You two did that all by yourselves." "Don't you dare take his side," Jenna hisses. "You're supposed to be my friend." "I am your friend. That's why I'm telling you this was the stupidest thing you've ever done. And that's saying something, considering your track record." Interesting. Trouble in paradise among the conspirators. I'm enjoying the show when I notice other patrons starting to recognize the players in our little drama. Phones come out, photos get snapped. Within minutes, someone's live streaming their argument on Instagram. That's when Jenna spots me. She stands up so fast she knocks over her drink, beer cascading across the table onto Markham's lap. He jumps up, cursing, drawing even more attention. Perfect. "You snake," Jenna shouts across the room. "How dare you show your face here?" The entire bar goes quiet. Even the jukebox seems to lower its volume out of respect for the impending drama. I raise my beer in a mock toast. "Evening, Jenna." "Markham. Having a nice chat about old times?" Markham starts toward me, probably thinking his gym membership makes him intimidating. I stay seated, relaxed. Let him come. Let everyone see who the aggressor is. "You think you're so smart," he snarls, stopping just short of my table. "Hiding behind your computer, ruining people's lives." "Hiding?" I laugh. "I'm sitting right here in plain sight. And I didn't ruin anything. I just turned on the lights. Cockroaches scatter when you do that." "You bastard." He lunges forward, but alcohol and rage make him clumsy. I simply lean back, and he crashes into my table, sending beer and peanuts flying. The crowd gasps, then starts laughing. "Careful there, champ," I say, standing up now. "Wouldn't want you to hurt yourself. Your ex-wife, might sue you for damages to community property." That gets him. He swings wild, telegraphing the punch from next Tuesday. I duck easily, and his momentum carries him into a group of construction workers who are not amused by having their drinks spilled. "Hey, watch it, asshole!" one of them shouts, shoving Markham back toward me. Now I have the entire room's attention, and my phone's recording everything. Time for the main event. "Ladies and gentlemen," I announce, voice carrying across the sudden quiet, "now allow me to introduce Markham Dole, recently fired from Prestige Imports for embezzling company funds to finance his affairs. And this lovely lady is my soon-to-be ex-wife Jenna, recently suspended from her boutique management position for sleeping with married suppliers." The crowd murmurs, phones appearing everywhere. Someone in the back shouts, "Tell us more." "Oh, there's so much more," I continue, pulling out my phone. "For instance, did you know that Markham here has been running a regular cheating operation? Bank records show at least 4 other women over the past 2 years. Company credit card, naturally." Jenna's face goes white. "Connor, stop." "Stop? Why would I stop? This is the good part." I swipe through screenshots on my phone. Hotel receipts, restaurant bills, jewelry purchases, all documented. Your tax dollars at work, folks, since his company writes it off as business expenses. A woman near the bar shouts, What a pig! Others join in with their own colorful commentary. Markham tries to grab my phone, but I'm ready for him. I step aside and let him stumble past me again, this time into the pool table. The players are not happy. And let's not forget the timeline, I continue, addressing my growing audience. While Jenna was telling me she loved me and wanted to start a family, she was sending naked pictures to this married man and planning weekend getaways to cheap motels. Very romantic, really. You're lying, Jenna screams, but her voice cracks with panic. Am I? Clara, you want to tell everyone about those girls' nights that were actually cover stories for Jenna's hookups? Or should I show them the text messages where you helped plan alibis? Clara goes pale. She'd been trying to stay invisible in the booth, but now every eye in the place is on her. That's right, I say, warming to my theme. Jenna's best friend here has been the mastermind behind this whole operation, setting up fake events, providing cover stories, even booking hotel rooms under her own name. A real friend, that one. The crowd's getting hostile now, directed at my targets instead of me. Someone throws a peanut at Markham. Another person calls Jenna a word that would make sailors blush. Let's get out of here, Clara hisses, grabbing Jenna's arm. Leaving so soon? I call after them. But we haven't gotten to the best part yet, the part where Markham promised to leave his wife for you, Jenna, while simultaneously making the same promise to at least 2 other women. That stops Jenna in her tracks. She turns to stare at Markham, who's gone the color of old cheese. Is that true? She whispers. Markham's mouth opens and closes like a fish gasping for air. The silence stretches until someone in the crowd yells, Answer her, you piece of shit! Jenna, I can explain. Oh, this is beautiful, I say, pulling out a chair like I'm settling in for a show. Please, Markham, explain to my wife how she was just another notch on your bedpost. Explain how you told Sandra from accounting the exact same lies, and Michelle from customer service. And what was the name of that real estate agent? Jennifer? Jessica? Jenna slaps him. Hard. The sound echoes through the bar like a gunshot. You told me you loved me, she screams. You said I was special. You are special, Markham stammers, holding his cheek. They didn't mean anything. She slaps him again. The crowd cheers. Get away from me, Jenna sobs. Just get away from me. Markham stumbles toward the door, the crowd parting like he's got plague. Someone throws another peanut, catching him in the back of the head. He doesn't turn around. Jenna collapses into a chair, crying hysterically. Clara tries to comfort her, but Jenna shoves her away. Don't touch me. This is all your fault. You said he was different. You said he really cared. I thought he did, Clara protests. I didn't know about the others. Bullshit. You knew. You had to know. I finish my beer and stand up, leaving a 20 on the table. The show's over, and I've got what I came for. Public humiliation, complete social destruction, and enough video evidence to make this the most watched drama in town history. As I head for the door, I pause beside Jenna's table. By the way, I say quietly, I changed the locks. Your stuff will be on the porch tomorrow morning. Don't forget to return the garage door opener. She looks up at me with mascara-streaked cheeks and red-rimmed eyes. I hate you, she whispers. Good, I reply. That makes us even. I'm savoring my morning coffee and scrolling through social media, watching last night's Roadhouse drama go viral when my doorbell rings. Through the peephole, I see a woman I don't recognize, mid-30s, professional attire, nervous energy. Connor Ames? She asks when I open the door. Depends who's asking. My name's Rebecca Chen. I worked for Markham at Prestige Imports. Can we talk? This should be interesting. I invite her in and pour another cup of coffee. I saw the video from last night, she begins, settling into my kitchen chair. What you said about Markham and the other women, you were right, all of it. I usually am. Comes with the job. She opens her purse and pulls out a flash drive. There's more, so much more. I've been his assistant for 3 years, and I've seen everything. The fake expense reports, the company credit card abuse, the harassment settlements the board paid to keep things quiet. I plug the drive into my laptop. Holy shit. This isn't just adultery. It's a pattern of predatory behavior going back years. Harassment complaints, NDAs, payoffs to silence victims. Why are you showing me this? Rebecca's hands shake as she reaches for her coffee. Because he destroyed my career. I filed a complaint 6 months ago when he cornered me in the supply room. The board buried it, transferred me to a hopeless position, and made it clear I'd never advance. Then yesterday they fired me for budget cuts while keeping him on. But you said he was fired. He was, this morning. After your little show last night, the board decided he was too much of a liability. But they're giving him a golden parachute, 6 months severance, full benefits, and a glowing reference letter. The injustice of it burns in my chest. This bastard destroys lives for years, and he gets rewarded with a comfortable exit. What do you want from me? I want him to pay, really pay, not just lose a job he can replace, but face consequences for what he's done to all of us. I study the files on the flash drive. Financial records, email chains, recorded phone calls. Rebecca's been busy. This is explosive stuff. Why not take it to the police? With what money? I'm unemployed, remember? And Markham's got connections, expensive lawyers. He'll tie this up in court for years while I go bankrupt fighting him. She has a point. The legal system is designed for people with deep pockets and patience. But the court of public opinion? That moves fast and hits hard. I might have a better idea, I tell her. That afternoon, I'm back at Grinder's coffee shop, this time meeting with Danny Dole again. She's looking much better than last week. Revenge apparently agrees with her. I got your message, she says, sliding into the booth. You said you had something that would interest me. I slide Rebecca's flash drive across the table. Your husband's greatest hits. Financial fraud, harassment, abuse of power. All documented. Danny plugs the drive into her tablet, and I watch her expression change from curiosity to disgust to cold fury. This goes back years, she whispers. Years of him doing this while I stood by him, defended him, made excuses. You didn't know. I should have known. She looks up at me, and I see something dangerous in her eyes. How do we use this? Oh, carefully and publicly. I'm thinking a community event where everyone's attention is focused, cameras are rolling, and there's no escape. The Harvest Festival, she says immediately. Next weekend. Markham's supposed to give a speech about community leadership. He's been planning it for months. Thinks it'll rehabilitate his image. Perfect. A captive audience, local media coverage, and a man walking straight into his own destruction. Can you get me on the program? I'm on the organizing committee. Consider it done. That evening, I'm working on my presentation when my phone rings. Jenna. Connor, we need to talk. We talked. At Murphy's. Very publicly. Please, I'm scared. Things are getting weird with Clara, and I think there's stuff you don't know about what's been happening. Against my better judgment, I agree to meet her at a neutral location, the 24-hour diner on Route 9. She looks terrible. Hollow-eyed, jittery, like she hasn't slept in days. Clara's been acting strange, she begins without preamble, asking weird questions about you, about our marriage, about things that happened years ago. What kind of things? Remember when you got that promotion at Meridian, the one Clara applied for too? I remember. Clara had worked at Meridian briefly in their IT support division. She'd applied for a cybersecurity position that ultimately went to me. She quit soon after, claiming the company was toxic. She's been obsessed with that, Jenna continues. Keeps saying you ruined her career, that everything bad in her life started when you got that job instead of her. A cold realization starts forming in my mind. Jenna, whose idea was it for you to start seeing Markham? What do you mean? I mean, who suggested him? Who introduced you? Who gave you the idea that an affair was what you needed? She's quiet for a long moment. Clara introduced us at that networking event last spring. She said he seemed interested in me, that I deserved better than what I had at home. The pieces click into place. Clara didn't just enable Jenna's affair, she orchestrated it. This whole thing wasn't about Jenna's midlife crisis or Markham's wandering eye. It was about Clara getting revenge on me by destroying my marriage. She played you, I tell Jenna. She played all of us. What are you talking about? I pull out my phone and show her Clara's employment history, which I'd looked up months ago when she first started spending more time around our house. 3 jobs in 5 years, all ending badly. A pattern of workplace conflicts and burned bridges. Clara's been planning this for years. She couldn't hurt me professionally, so she went after my personal life instead. She manipulated you into an affair, knowing it would destroy our marriage and probably your career too. Jenna stares at the information, her face going pale. No, she's my friend. She wouldn't she? Think about it, Jenna. Who suggested all those girls' nights that gave you cover for seeing Markham? Who helped you set up the fake social media accounts? Who convinced you that I was holding you back and you deserved more excitement? The truth hits her like a physical blow. She doubles over in the booth, gasping. Oh God, what have I done? I should feel vindicated. I should be enjoying watching her realize how thoroughly she's been manipulated. Instead, I just feel tired. You made your choices, Jenna. Clara might have provided the opportunity, but you walked through that door yourself. Can you ever forgive me? I look at this woman I once loved, now broken and desperate, and feel nothing but emptiness where my anger used to be. I don't know, I tell her honestly, but it doesn't matter anymore. We're done either way. She starts crying again, but I don't comfort her. That's not my job anymore. As I drive home, I'm already planning my next move. Clara thinks she's been playing chess while everyone else played checkers. Time to show her what happens when you go up against a grandmaster. The Harvest Festival is one of those small-town traditions that looks quaint in photos, but feels like a slow-motion disaster when you're living through it. Craft booths selling overpriced junk, a petting zoo that smells like despair, and a main stage where local celebrities give speeches about community values. Perfect venue for a public execution. I arrive early, setting up my laptop and portable speakers, while volunteers arrange folding chairs. The festival committee thinks I'm giving a presentation on cybersecurity awareness. Technically true, though not in the way they expect. Danny Dole finds me adjusting microphone levels. Everything ready? Almost. Is our guest of honor here? She points toward the VIP tent, where Markham's holding court with local business leaders, playing the role of wrongfully accused pillar of the community. He's cleaned up since the Roadhouse incident. Fresh haircut, expensive suit, practiced smile, but I can see the desperation underneath. What about Clara? She's here somewhere. Jenna too, though they are not sitting together. Interesting. The alliance is fracturing. At 2 p.m., Mayor Davidson introduces me to the crowd of about 200 people. Local families, business owners, teenagers forced to attend by their parents. And scattered throughout, the key players in our drama. Ladies and gentlemen, I begin. I'm here to talk about cybersecurity. Specifically about how digital evidence can expose the truth when people think they're being clever. I click to my first slide. A photo of Markham and Jenna at an expensive restaurant taken from her cloud backup. The crowd murmurs. Some people recognize the faces immediately. This photo was taken 4 months ago at Le Bernardin, charged to Prestige Imports' corporate credit card as a business dinner. Except the woman isn't a business contact, she's my wife. And this dinner cost more than most people here make in a week. Markham starts to stand, but Danny's positioned herself right behind him. She puts a firm hand on his shoulder, pushing him back down. Now you might think this is just about adultery. I continue, clicking to the next slide, Rebecca's financial records. But it's much bigger than that. This is about a pattern of abuse, fraud, and manipulation that goes back years. The next 15 minutes are a masterclass in public destruction. I walk the audience through Markham's crimes. Embezzlement, harassment, abuse of power. Every accusation backed by documented evidence, every claim supported by receipts and recordings. The crowd's mood shifts from curiosity to disgust to outright anger. Someone shouts, "Arrest him!" Others join in with their own demands for justice, but I'm not done yet. Now some of you might be wondering how this all started. How did a respected businessman and a boutique manager end up in this situation? I click to a new slide, Clara's employment history and psychological profile I'd compiled. The answer is manipulation. Professional, calculated manipulation by someone who wanted revenge against me for a perceived slight. I find Clara in the crowd. She's trying to edge toward the exit, but people are packed too tightly. Clara Santos, everyone. My wife's best friend and the architect of this entire scheme. She orchestrated the affair, provided the alibis, and manipulated both parties into destroying their lives, all to get back at me for getting a job she wanted 5 years ago. Clara's face goes white. People around her start backing away like she's radioactive. She convinced my wife that I was holding her back, that she deserved excitement and passion. She introduced her to Markham, knowing he was a serial predator. She helped plan their meetings, provided cover stories, and encouraged increasingly risky behavior. I click to the final slide, a timeline showing Clara's involvement in every step of the affair. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just witnessed the complete destruction of 3 lives, orchestrated by a woman who couldn't handle professional rejection. Let this be a lesson about the dangers of unchecked resentment and the power of digital evidence. The crowd erupts. Some people are cheering, others are booing, but not at me, at the 3 people who thought they could play games with other people's lives. Markham tries to run, but the crowd blocks his path. Someone's already called the police about the financial crimes. He's not going anywhere. Clara makes it to the parking lot, but her car won't start. Funny thing about modern vehicles, so many computerized systems that can mysteriously malfunction when you've made the right enemies. Jenna just sits there, staring at the stage where her life was dissected for public consumption. She looks broken, but also somehow relieved, like she's finally free of the web of lies she'd been living in. As the crowd disperses and the police arrive to arrest Markham, I pack up my equipment. Danny approaches, looking satisfied. "That was beautiful," she says. "Absolutely beautiful." Justice usually is. What happens now? I look around at the chaos. Reporters interviewing witnesses, police taking statements, social media exploding with videos of the presentation. Now they live with the consequences. Markham will probably do time for the financial crimes. Clara's career in this town is over, and Jenna gets to start over with everyone knowing exactly who she really is. And you? I consider the question. 6 months ago, I was a married man with a comfortable life and blind trust in the people closest to me. Now I'm divorced, alone, but oddly at peace. I'm free, I tell her. For the first time in years, I'm completely free. As I drive home, I pass Murphy's Roadhouse. The parking lot's packed. Everyone wants to rehash the day's drama over beer and wings. My phone's buzzing constantly with interview requests, friend requests from people who suddenly want to know me, and messages of support from strangers who saw the festival presentation online. But I ignore them all. I've said everything I needed to say. At home, I pour myself a bourbon and sit on my back porch, watching the sunset over a town that will be talking about this day for years. Somewhere out there, 3 people are dealing with the complete destruction of their reputations, relationships, and futures. They brought it on themselves, but the finality of it is still sobering. My phone rings one last time. Jenna. Connor? What do you want, Jenna? I wanted you to know that I understand now. What Clara did to me, to us, I'm sorry I didn't see it before. Apology noted. Is there any chance at all, that we could try again? Start over? I take a sip of bourbon and consider my answer. 6 months ago, I would have said yes immediately. Hell, 2 weeks ago, I might have been tempted. No, Jenna, there's not. I understand, she whispers. I hope you find someone who deserves you. I already have, I tell her. Me. After I hang up, I delete her number from my phone. Then I delete Clara's number and Markham's and everyone else connected to this mess. Time for a clean slate. The bourbon tastes better than it has in months. Tomorrow, I'll start looking for a new job in a new city, somewhere I can build a life based on truth instead of lies. Tonight, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the satisfaction of a game well played. They wanted to destroy me. Instead, they destroyed themselves. Sometimes the best revenge is simply turning on the lights and letting people see who they really are.